What is up, YouTube? That's here today. I'm back playing more Pokemon VGC 2023 Regulation D rank battles, and today we're busting out a rental code Sunroom, right? With a little bit of Hisui and Typhlosion. A few days ago, we used another Hisui and Typhlosion team actually, and they had like no speed investment, and it was just really hard to use it. But I'm really happy to use this team today. It's submitted by Sega on our official Patreon team submission post. If you guys have a team you want me to take a look at, make a video for, and do my absolute best to fix, think about checking out the Patreon. There's a link to it in the description. Even the lowest tier, the $2 tier, gets access to this post and all the other posts. I make teams for VGC, teams for singles. There's a bunch of really useful stuff. There's hundreds of teams up on that Patreon. So think about checking it out. Any support you guys can throw in there really does help me out, especially with the DLC coming. And speaking of the DLC, don't forget to answer the question of the day. The question of the day, when do you guys think the Ubers are going to be legal? Things like the super Ubers, like the Zacians, Groudons, Kyogres, Mewtwo's. Let me know. I'm thinking probably not right when this DLC comes out, but I'm thinking maybe like December or even January 1st, we might get like a whole new rule set. That's when I think those guys are going to be legal. But this team right here is submitted by Sega, and they actually, what I really like about this, they list up a bunch of different like flowchart leads. They say this lead's good against this lead's good against this, and they have 6 different lead options that they actually talk about, and then they show their whole team right here. For the most part, this team actually functions really, really well. I think they talked a little bit about Lilligant not feeling like it's pulling its own weight. They feel like they bring a lot of the same Pokemon every time. I think they said they bring like Cress, Urshi, Torkoal, Typhlosion a lot. And what I really think with this team is that it's a great team. I think this is a really, really cool team. It just needs to be optimized a little bit. I think having like, it's a fast Ursaluna with like Seed Bomb. It's not really pulling its own weight. This is a full speed Trick Cresselia. Hopefully I can get some good wins with that in our test games. I think this will be best built as like streamlining the Typhlosion Lilligant part to just have that work when you need it to work, and then making the other core like Cresselia, Torkoal, Ursaluna made for Trick Room, and then having like mons like Tornadus and Typhlosion kind of go in between both of those modes and just picking the right mode for the team that you're going to be fighting. So instead of actually just like giving you need to do this or this or this, like open yourself up to just understanding a few more of the flowchart lead options. So like right here I said there's 6, right? There's 6 different lead combos that they said they're comfortable with. There's actually 15 different lead combinations that every single team has. So there's still a whole new bag of tricks that you're probably not even thinking work for this team, and it's those bag of tricks that make Sunroom teams really shine in my personal opinion. So hopefully you like these changes I make, and yeah, let's just get into these games. I have to play a couple test games with this team on the ranked ladder, but after that we'll fix everything, so wish me luck. Here we go. Alright, Heatran. Heatran's always a jerk. The way that you want to actually beat Heatran is by going with combos that force the Heatran to Tera. That way no other mon on their team can Tera, and then once it Teras into usually like Grass or Bug, you can start pinning it with things that are good against those types. So things like, you know, Bleakwind Storms from Tornadus in the back are really, really good against an already terastallized Heatran. That being said, what do we really want to do? I don't think there's an issue with actually leading Typhlosion here. Typhlosion outspeeds a good chunk of their mons. Especially if we pair it with Cresselia. I'm actually really, really excited about this. Our Cresselia can be a really, really good mon into Typhlosion. Sorry, not Typhlosion, into Heatran for some situations, so I'll talk about in just a minute. But we can also use the Frisk from Typhlosion to basically scout where that Zoroark could be. So this could be really good with a combination of like Tornadus, and I'm going to bring the Lilligant actually in the very, very back. So, you know, the number one question, or the number one issue that Sega had when they submitted this team was basically the issue of they feel like the team's pretty underwhelming, right? And they feel like, you know, it probably could be a little bit better. They said Lilligant in particular was very underwhelming. And I just think that when you're playing a team like Sun, it can definitely feel underwhelming, but it's more so in how you actually make your leads work. It's more so in how you make your leads work, because like I don't think they had Cresselia Typhlosion really listed as an option unless they were going to go for Icy Wind. I think there's a couple cool things we can do with like tricking our own Choice Scarf onto our Typhlosion, and then just making it super, super fast. So let's see what happens with the Frisk here. Let's see if any of those items are really, really weird, right? So Frisk happens, Covert, Cloak, Torn, and Life Orb. Those are probably both those mons, which means there's probably not a Zoroark this game. Which means they do have the Typhlosion. Like, do I care? I keep calling Heatran Typhlosion. Do I care? I don't know if I care, because I'm also, like, I feel like Eruption is just pretty pog here. But I also feel like against both of those mons, you can just Icy Win them. Well, you can't Icy Win the Torn, so we have to do this. Let's just go. Eruption. You can swap out? for Heatran. You can do this. No one's stopping you, buddy. No one's stopping you. I wonder what they're gonna do. But yeah, I think like experimenting with different leads is the key to making like teams like this work. They can do like, yeah, there's a couple cool things they do. Eerie Impulse is totally fine. They're side Eerie Impulsing to raise their own attack, but they don't expect some of these. Now I'm fast. And they didn't swap in the Heatran. They probably just said like, no way they're bringing Heatran. No way they're bringing Sun to this. And I totally did. Hopefully we totally get the KO here. Oh my gosh, we almost got that KO. And they actually Earth Power the Typhlosion. That's fine, actually. Cresselia has a Life Orb now. We're ready to deal the damage. Now let's think about what we really do want to get done here. There's an Orb Tick. Do we have Protect on our Torn? We have Protect here. I'm going to go Lilligant. Just drop a Protect, and the next turn, like, pivot out. I think that's a fair play. Lilligant's a pretty cool mon. Lilligant might even just outspeed that Torn, but I don't think so. We're just going to go Protect. And this actually probably deals a good amount of damage. Let's go. So just Protect Lilligant, something you don't really see all that often. If I would have had Fire Tera there, we would have gotten the KO and been in a really good spot. Alright, so now there's speed. Should they respect Lilligant? They're just going to go D-Gleam. That shouldn't KO Cress. Actually, this Cress has like full speed investment. It might do a lot. A lot. There we go. So, let's see. That guy's going to go down. And let's see. How much damage do we do here to Tornadus? Single target Life Orb. Bro, that's a good amount of damage. Remember, they have Covert Cloak, so it's not like we really are doing that great here. But let's see what they want to bring out. I'm trying to think of like how we get out of this exact situation. Protect, Encore, Axe, Kick, Sleep Powder. So we can Encore the Torn if we want to. I wonder if it's going to be Heatran. I can always just pivot out the Lilligant for Tornadus and be super fine there. I think that's actually a good play. And then just go for like an Icy Wind, and then they KO the Crest or do something, and then we just bring out... Ooh, that's cool. Yeah. So remember, we're talking about like layering up these Bleakwinds. Like, Bleakwind's great versus that. No one's Terra'd yet. I could just leave Lilligant in here. I'm not afraid of anything that team actually does to us, like, at all. And then we just Encore the Rilla. Yeah, like, this is fine. We don't even need to Axe Kick there. I'm going to Axe Kick here. And then... Yeah, like, what are they going to do? Wild Bolt? I don't really care that much. I'm trying to see if I would want to trick them. But no, Icy Wind's fine. Ice Wind's okay. Rilla can totally fake out. Ain't no one saying he can't. The fact they brought Rilla out here means that, like, I don't know why they wouldn't bring out something else. Fake out's fine. Yep. Good damage. I can totally just eat the Wild Bolt, and worst case scenario, just go Protect Lunar Blessing, right? So we're going to KO their Torn. Or Thundy. Chunk the Rilla. And now Lilligant's in a really good spot, because now Lilligant can just go Encore into their Rilla. It's so nice. Encore Lilligant is actually like super cool. Super cool. Alright. Heatran? No Heatran, huh? Oh my gosh. It's Urshi Dark. That's weird. That's a little weird thing. We're just going to let this guy go down. Let's see. I think I actually just want to go Trick into it, actually, to make it... Because, like, I feel like we're not, like, going to get any attacks off anyways. Let's just go Icy Wind, it's fine. We'd like to break Sash. That's the reason why. And if we trick the Life Orb on it, we'd be avoiding Sucker Punch and be able to, you know, give it an item that would make it lose its Sash. But let's see what happens here. I'd love to see, like, a Detect from them. We have Sleep Powder for next turn, so I think we're in a good enough spot. Encore goes off, so Rilla's stuck using the Fake Out train for a few turns. Tornadus is going to come in and just blow this guy up, but, like, let's see what happens here. Wicked Blow to the Lilligant. Yo! We take those. Lilligant thick. Lilligant's so good. So good. Bam. Look at that damage. That's that good damage. Alright, so we actually should still Sleep Powder this Urshifu. We definitely should still Sleep Powder it, I think. And the Lilligant's going to be fine. But basically, this game, there are a few different things that could happen. Like, we didn't have to... I didn't want to go Icy Wind into their enamorous, right? That's why I went with like the self-trick play. And again, this is where I think like maybe a Fire Tera could have been really nice in the Typhlosion, but like we obviously didn't need it. Hopefully we hit this Sleep Powder. What's our Tera? Ghost? Ghost is a good Tera, but not needed here. Sleep Powder is going to be good, and... Trying to think if there's anything worth doing. I'm just going to click Lunar Blessing at this point. Just get some Live Against some more health back, so like it can outlast the Urshifu. So Fake Out forever. Survey says Wide Lens Sleep Powder. Let's go. Let's go. Dude, we're actually going to get to use Axe Kick. This is the coolest thing ever. This is the coolest thing ever. Life Orb full speed was originally Scarf Cresselia out here. Oh my gosh. Yo, this is hilarious. And I think we have one more turn left before Encore ends, so we're going to go for that Axe Kick. We're going to do the Axe Kick, boys. It's going to be sick. Alright. Last turn. So, dude, we're going to Axe Kick that thing. I mean, I want to Axe Kick both of them. Let's just Axe Kick here. And go for an Icy Wind. Oh, this is the coolest game ever, dude. This is the coolest game ever. I don't think I've ever seen the Axe Kick animation. Fake Out forever. Yep, he's stuck using that because of the Encore. And the Axe Kick. Big damage. Oh my gosh, dude. Oh, that's so cool. Remember, we have a Wide Lens, right? So that Axe Kick is accurate. I can't talk. It's the first game of the day. I'm just waking up. It's actually, I think like a 99% because your Wide Lens boosts your accuracy by 10% on a 90 move, so boosted by 9, so 99%. But we should be able to get this. We could probably just Axe Kick here, but I just go for the Encore. Encore Luperino. And then we just win. And then we just win. So think about thinking outside the box. If we take a look at some of the leads that you submitted, right? If we take a look at some of the leads you submitted, it's going to be... Where was that? Up here. So you submitted like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different lead combos. But in reality, there's like 15 different lead combos. Think about different ways to play Typhlosion Crest. I don't even know if Typhlosion Crest was on here. Yeah, it wasn't even on here, and we found a way to like make that work. There are situations where you can make every single one of your Pokemon work with other options, and that's the key to playing Sun. Everyone knows like the 5 or 6 leads that you listed right here. Everyone knows that like, yeah, you can set Sun and do your Sun thing. But it forces people to over-respect your ability to set Sun and do your Sun things, and when you don't do that and you still change your speed tiers through the use of like tricking your own choice scarf onto your mons or going for a really fast Icy Wind to something to enable your teammate to do something, that can be really nice. You can actually lead like Lilligant Crest in a lot of situations and just go for a really fast Icy Wind to drop something below what would be Lilligant speed and then just go for a Wide Lens Sleep Powder into like a hard swap out Crest into Typhlosion and just Sleep Powder the other one and then just start going to town. There are so many little situations where you can find ways to bully your opponent, and having tech moves like Encore, like Trick, they definitely do help. So I think you're on the right track here, but there definitely are a couple things we need to fine tune, but we're gonna do that after one more game. So let's go into one more game and see if we can keep the win streak alive. All right, a little bit of Indity Armarouge with Ape. I wonder if that's like a Scarf Ape. I wonder if that's the fabled Final Gambit Scarf Ape. I thought those were extinct. Yeah, okay. I might lead Cress here. This is definitely a game that, like, you could lead Cress if you wanted to. You can go Cress Torkoal here pretty well. Greninja's a bit weird. It's probably like the Greninja, like, side shuriken thing into the Ape, right? I've seen those before. We could also just blow that up. Who's saying that we can't just blow that up? I mean, I'm trying to think of, like, how the speed tiers for that work. You just say Lilyco into that. I think Lilyco into that's probably pretty good because the way that you use... See, the issue is, like, we have a full speed Luna, which I don't think you can really use against this. But these two against this board seem alright. You just Sleep Powder the Greninja and overheat the Ape. And then you get a free pivot into Typhlosion. It's a good play. And then I'm going to bring the Torn. I think Torn's just one of the keys here because they should be going like eventually like Grass Tera on the Armarouge. They have a Urshifu, they have Greninja. These are all things that like Tornadus can bully out of the game. And let's see how this goes. Let's see how this goes. But we were talking a little bit about like what mons are like the weak links in this team. I definitely think Torkoal might be one. It's not that it's bad. It's not that it's bad. It's that it's like, it's not great. Doesn't bring a lot to the table. I wonder how much damage we would do here with like a Helping Hand, Axe Kick into like a Tera Armarouge. Now we're just going to overheat the Entity, and we're actually going to target the Sleep Powder into the Armarouge. This forces the Follow Me. If they don't want to use it, they just go to sleep. There's the Follow Me. Absolutely fine. So we're going to have both these moves go into the Armarouge, unless they're just clicking the big expanding. Which they totally have the tools to do. KO the Lilligant, hit the Torkoal. Yeah, expanding, big damage. Hopefully our Torkoal doesn't die, right? It shouldn't. Lilligant does go down. We don't have any Sash or anything. This is why I actually am a big fan of Dark Tera Lilligant, just so you can avoid stuff like that. It makes this matchup a lot easier. Great damage there. You're now asleep, right? And now we can just bring in our Typhlosion here and just Shadow Ball the target that we want. So it's a good play. So we see we get, and so it's also, it's not just Typhlosion, it's Typhlosion plus Tornadus. So if you want to go Grass Tera and get cute, it doesn't work. Rocky Helmet and Weakness Policy. Okay. Well, the good thing is Tornadus is faster. That is dicey. That means there's no way that they're Trick Rooming. I'm still going to do the play. You just Shadow Ball here. And I think you get away with just going Bleakwind. Let's go. Weak Armor only activates on physical attacks anyways, so like, we don't care if we just proc a policy and just kill it. Both these mons are faster. But you see like that pin that we set up? Yes, it costs us a Lilligant. They're trying to fish for protect turns. Realistically, this Bleakwind might just KO this Entity. I'd be down. I mean, I'm not losing anything for this. Cool. I mean, it doesn't really matter. I would say it's probably better that the Entity stays up. Because next turn, the Entity still will go down. They still will try and follow me, but again, our Torn's faster. We're not wasting any Tailwind turns or anything weird. I guess they also, because they're Weakness Policy, they probably are Weak Armor. I could probably just click Eruption. It's fine. We're okay. Just gotta hit these weak ones, we're good. But you see how like Torn Typhlosion is like such, they are gonna go for the Follow Me. They're trying to hope that we miss Bleakwind. If we do miss this Bleakwind, this is really bad. One turn sleeps suck. Bleakwind, miss on. Don't know who we missed on. All right, we hit the Entity, which we had to hit that one. And now it's a Life Orb Shadow Ball versus Armor. She didn't Tera. Tera no Kara, Shadow Ball. Please carry us to these wins. Yes. They tried to force that RNG. They risked the whole game on RNG on turn 3. Not worth. Now I still have Tailwind potential to get set up. Still have Torkoal as a pivot for the back if I have to like switch out or reset something. We're in a good spot here. I think we're in a decent spot. There's a terrain up if they want to Sucker Punch. Yeah, like we're in a great spot here. So we just Tailwind. Oh yeah, Tailwind and Eruption. There's no reason not to do this, just in case. Because I don't think I kill them. They're Urshi. But I'm going to do this just in case. So big Eruption. Big Tailwind. And we should be fine here. We're probably going to get a KO on one of their mons. This is where I still feel like Fire Tera Typhlosion is the play. But Water Tera is fine. We don't need it to block like Aqua Jet. Like there's still Psychic Terrain on the board. But we might be able to live some sort of Surging Strikes play like this. Detect's great. Means we didn't have to Tera, but let's see if we can even KO the Ape here. I don't even know if we do. Again, Fire Tera would make sure that we do. So if we leave this at 1, this is like the second time like we didn't, you know, a Fire Tera would have given us more damage. Big damage. We have the Sun Boost. Yeah, you see, like, I would be more comfortable with Fire Tera in that situation, because now we're just really sad. I still think we win, but, like, you can see that we're very sad. You know, the fact that we're still alive is actually, like, enough to win this game. They haven't Terra'd yet. I'm actually just going to Shadow Ball here, and then we do have to hit a Bleakwind, but it's fine. You could talk about going, like, Solar Beam into the Urshi, but I don't think you really need to go Solar Beam into Urshi, because they could always go for some weird play. They went for the Aqua Jet. Live out. You set that terrain. Don't act like I'm the bad guy here. You set that. You set it, not me. Critical hit. Yo, we take those on an Annihilate. So I would say maybe still think about going Fire Tera. I understand the the value in wanting like a Water Tera, but similar to like the last Typhlosion team that we fixed, you don't really need to have all these like defensive options for your Typhlosion. You need to one-shot things with your Typhlosion. All right, let's play one more game here. We see Gholdengo. Okay, so I'm trying to think what we should do here. I'm a big fan of like Tornadus leading to this, like a huge fan. Worst case scenario, it's a trade Tailwind. I don't think we have to respect like Trick Room Flood or anything like that. And then I actually really do like Lilligant here. So like trade Tailwinds into like, if they go for any fake outs, we Encore. If they go for like Gholdengo things, that kind of sucks. But we can just Sleep Powder, take the L, bring out the Typhlosion, read the Water Tera Solar Beam it. It's really going to be nice. So these two are great. I like Tornadus more than Torkoal in this exact situation. It's just my opinion because we still get to bring some other really, really big, bulky bruisers. We're going to go with Typhlosion. We're actually going to go the Ursaluna in this one. This is a game where we're going to be busting out the Ursaluna. I'm actually a big fan of Ursaluna versus Genies. I think Ursaluna brings some things to the table. Note that this is a full speed Ursaluna. I don't think you need the Seed Bomb. I think Facade will hit anything that you ever would want a Seed Bomb for super effective damage. Facade hits it just fine. And Earthquake's always good. So let's see what they're going to do here. Tornadus and Urshi. Cool. So in this exact board state, we can technically just go Sunny Day. And Sleep Powder the Urshi. Because even if we traded Tailwinds here, I would still get the boost. And yeah, I think we're fine. So we're just going to go Sunny Day over Tailwind, because this will give us longer turns on our Tailwind. And we're just going to Sleep Powder the Urshi. Protect. Oh, are they going Bleakwind turn 1? No way. And then next turn we'll Tailwind. Sunny Day. They're slower than we are. They just Rain Dancing us, bro. Taunt. It's fine. So next turn, if they want to Tailwind and or Rain Dance, we're still fine. I wonder if they're actually going to taunt our Lilligant. I'm actually really curious because like I don't think that this is going to work out the way that they want. I'm going to try this Encore play. You can only taunt one, and if you want to set the speed, like I have the speed control, right? So it's like Rain Dance. I mean, that's the thing. Like this is why Lilligant's so broken. Like I still just outspeed you, bro, and you're just like dunzoed. That's so much damage. Thanks for the Bleakwind. Appreciate you, friend. A long time. And now you're just stuck using Detect. And if that would have actually KO'd their Ursh, like let's say they were in Sash, and we redirected that Encore, that's one of the reasons why I wanted to use that instead of Sleep Powder. Redirect that into the Tornadus, they would have been stuck using Rain Dance. And now that Tornadus is actually slower than us, so we're going to go for another Bleakwind. And let's think about what we want to do here. Because we have an absolute free turn. Completely free turn. I think you just double into this guy and just get it off the board. Yep. Because he has a speed drop. He's going, but my Torn Urshi, but my world's level tech. Get Lilliganted. Lilligant D's. Yeah. Protect's fine. And we should be able to KO their Torn here. Taunt. Yeah, they're going for the taunts, but like at this point, you don't need to use any more status moves. You just go for the damage at this point. So here we go. Bleakwind. Thank you for the accuracy boost, friend. Let's go. Nice. And didn't want to throw that Axe Kick into the Urshi slot, right? Didn't want to do that. Not today. It is going to be, was that Citrus? Pinch, maybe? Oh, Figgy. It's a Pinch Berry. Axe Kick, big damage. Any confusers? No. All right, so this will actually get the KO. This Bleakwind. This is my last turn of Taunt here. So, like, I'm just going to Bleakwind to get the double KO. And we're going to just throw the Axe Kick into this slot right here. And I think that's completely fine. So, Bleakwind will get it the double KO. They're going to put up a Tailwind, right? And realistically, next turn, I'll just put up a Tailwind back. So, they're just basically going to lose both their Mons here. And Lilligant busted. They're saving their Urshi, so something's swapping in here. Note that our Torn is faster than our Lilligant, so when we KO this, the Axe Kick's going to get redirected into this Landorus. That's free damage on Landorus. We take those. Any speed drops on this Landorus would be game-changing. There's the Tailwind. Speed drops on this Landorus basically just end the game, I think, like right here, because then there's Torn bullies it out of the game. Might be vested Lando. It's very, very thick. Yo, that's huge. That means if it was a Scarf like Bulky Lando, we could still just bully it now. There's nothing we have to worry about. Axe Kick, remember we have the Wide Lens, so we don't care. Any confusers are nice. 30%. This move's so cool. I don't know why people don't use it. Like, Axe Kick is actually really cool. 120 base power, 30% confusion. I take 50% recoil if I miss, but we have a wide lens. So this is like the only situation where this works. And we've been very good about using it against mons that shouldn't be protecting. So we should be good. So they're confused and speed dropped. You can totally send that Urshi right back out here. But then, like, I just Tailwind Axe Kick it. I mean, I could fail. That's a situation where we can miss. They're so pinned here, bro. The poor Landorus. He's like, but I just wanted to be Landorus. We should be able to KO with an Axe Kick. Maybe not, actually. Still, we Tailwind. I think I'm just going to Tailwind Sleep Powder the Arrow can't. I'm still taunted, duh. I'll go for the Axe Kick. It's fine. Let's go. We're intimidated. Trade Tailwinds. Literally better than nothing. Axe Kick. Oh, yeah, we're busted. Lilligant busted. Oh, my gosh. Because that was actually a bulkier Urshifu. It ate that Bleakwind Storm like a champ. Survey says, Rock Slide. Hey, good play. Poor Torn. I think that's probably like a heavy HP. I would say that's an HP attack vested Landorus. It ate that Bleakwind Storm like an absolute champion. And at this point, I don't know if I want to Photosynthesis. Oh, sorry, Sunny Day. All right, they get a speed boost. Okay. So we Tailwinded. If I were to now Sunny Day here, I do outspeed that Flutter quite a bit. Because I have the Tailwind plus the Sunny Day. Yeah, let's go. Like the Chlorophyll. Chlorophyll's a +2. So let's see what we get out of here. And then we should just be able to bring in Typhlosion there and win the game. As long as we don't get like a one-turn sleep. If they ever protect, we got the Encore too. So like if they go protect Flutter like Rock Slide or EQ or something weird, you know. Sunny Day. Let's go. We haven't missed a Sleep Powder yet. Yo, the value. See, I think with the Lilligant, because you got the wide ones, you've teched everything on this Lilligant to like be that bully Mon that forces your opponent to commit tons of resources. You just got to use it more. Like, and that's the thing is like, if you're not having a good win rate with this team, that's because like, that's the nature of Lilligant. It's going to have like a 60-70% win rate against like most teams. And against like some teams, there's not a dang thing Lilligant can do. But against some teams, it's like actually super cracked. I wanted to lose a Mon there. This is fine though. And this is another situation where I would actually still like to have Flying Tera. I don't think you need Dark Tera. I understand that's for blocking like taunts and stuff like that from Pranksters, but I don't think it, like you saw in this game, it didn't even matter. But I would like to have Flying Tera to do just a little bit more damage if possible. At this point, there's no reason to like fodder the Lilligant. Might as well just sleep out of the Lando. But yeah, we wanted Lilligant to not Lilligant. We wanted Torn to go down to a Rock Slide that turn. Oh well. Let's see if Flutter wakes up. Alright, so next turn we're probably going to protect with our Lilligant. Go for a good Bleakwind here. Good damage. Any speed drops on that Flutter are great. Nope. It's playing just a little bit too passive. Their Tailwind peters out. That's what we needed to see. And how many turns left on our Tailwind? 1. So this is a turn where, like, if we had double protect, we would use it. I'm definitely just going to go Bleakwind, and I will just protect with my Lilligant this turn. So that way, even if they wake up with the Flutter main, we'd still be able to outspeed and just go for a... what is it? Outspeed and go for another Sleep Powder. Or an Encore if they do something weird. That's the speed drop. That's the game ender right there. Right there. That's the game ender. Speed drop on that Flutter. Come back down to regular human levels. They do get the wake up. Are they Moonblasting? Are they degleaming? Moonblast blocked. Lilligant busted. Lilligant busted. Oh my gosh. And now we just get to retail win, so it means Typhlosion wins. We didn't even lose a Mon. So, and that just goes to show like how you can influence these sort of games. We should just actually Encore. But I'll go for the Sleep Powder just to be a bully. They're probably going to scoop. Oh, they're staying in. Oh, they're popping off right now. I mean, we just get the Tailwind off, so it makes Typhlosion win. But you can see, like, this team, it's not supposed to just win every game, but it can do a good job about, like, forcing opponents to expend resources to deal with Lilligant, and then Lilligant just doesn't even care about, like, most of the meta if played correctly. Alright. Another Powder. Yeah, Wide Lens. you just got to go for it. It's going to probably think like, wow, this is the luckiest player ever, but like we have Wide Lens. Like you've put in the resources, the sweat equity, and building the EV spreads that make this set work. You should hit. It adds 10% to a 75, it's like an 82.5% chance to hit. Like we do be taking these all the way to the bank. And now I can hit you with an axe kick. Thanks for the Tera, buddy. Battle was canceled, and we take those wins. I think this team is really good, but there are a few things that I'd like to change here. So what I'm going to do now is go into this part right here, and I'm going to change a bunch of the EVs, change a bunch of the Teras, and build the team how I think it would best perform. If we go back and take a look at the team right here, they say they always bring the same mons, Cresselia, Torkoal, Typhlosion. And I'm really thinking you just need to think outside the box and think up lead situations that utilize Lilligant more as a lead and more as like a late game cleanup mon, because Lilligant's really, really good if you use it correctly. So going into this part, and I want to say team's great. I don't really agree with like the full speed Cress or the full speed Ursaluna, so we're gonna change some of those things. But like Tornadus is good, Typhlosion's good. Torkoal is the weak link. I think you have to keep Torkoal to give the illusion that this team is what it is. But as for the rest of the mons, you know, they're okay. So Tornadus is good. This is the same moveset I would probably use on this guy. You might maybe think about putting Icy Wind over Taunt if like Amoonguses aren't that big of an issue. But it's a good set. I would say you would probably still want to be flying on this guy, because you don't need to waste Tera to block like a Prankster Taunt because you have full speed. That's the thing. If you're using a Tornadus that had like no speed investment, maybe you do have Dark Tera, so you can always know that you can do what you want to do. And go Dark Tera to block those Prankster Taunts from other faster Tornaduses. But because we're full speed, they have to risk a speed tie just to do that. And even if they do, it's one of those situations where maybe you lose like that game 1 out of every 50 games where that even happens. But realistically, if you go for the Tailwind or like a Sunny Day and they go for a Taunt like we saw in that last one, that's a loss for them. It turns out just like that last game did. They're turned behind the whole time and you just start Bleakwinding. In past formats, where, you know, going Dark Tera wasn't an option, and people would miss those. We didn't have Bleakwind Storm, we had Icy Wind. But basically what happens is you just put up speed control on top of them. Even if you got up like one layer of speed control from either Sunny Day or Tailwind, then from there you just like, you know, go on top of it with more, you know, Icy Wind was my example. Bleakwind Storm is the same thing, we just drop all their speed, so it works. I think this EV spread's also fine. You want to be as fast as possible so you don't have to go Dark Tera. You want to be as strong as possible, and every once in a while, having that Flying Tera to just do a little bit more damage against people who calc versus just like a standard 2v2 Torn. You know, it's good versus like Rilla, it's good versus Amoonguss, it's good at finishing off Shenpows, so I'm a fan of the Flying Tera after they've taken Small Chip, and you know, there's no reason to really use anything else. If anything else, you could use Grass, but we're going to actually use a lot of Grass on this team. So, Ursaluna, you have Grass. I don't think Ursaluna needs Grass at all. I think Ursaluna is actually best built with Ghost, just so they can't, like, try to fake out you, because, like, the worst thing here is when you're trying to sweep with the Ursaluna, and they saved, like, an Iron Hands in the back, or, like, a Rillaboom in the back, and they bring it in, and they, like, fake out you and derail your whole sweep from happening. So, Ghost is the one that stops that. Ghost is a good Tera here. Things shouldn't be able to read your Tera either and go for like a Shadow Ball on you because you're normally a normal type. So I think the Ghost is a good Tera. I also, like I said, C-Bomb. In any situation where this would even be super effective, you'd be doing more damage to that Pokemon with a Facade if you already have your Flame Orb active. So you don't ever need this move. The move that I suggest people use here is Substitute. And it sounds really, really weird, but I like it. Because when you get a sub up, when a lot of people see Ursaluna, they're like, that Ursaluna is protecting, I'm going to ignore it, I'm going to hit the teammate. So when you protect your teammate as well and go for just a sub, and they get nothing out of that turn, and you now have a sub, that's game ender. That's game ender, game over. You can put more coverage moves there, you can put like a close combat there, you can put like an ice punch there, or like a rock slide there if you really want, but I go sub there, and it's actually really nice. As this Ursaluna set, I understand what you're trying to do with like giving it an option to work in like Tailwind, but you know, we saw a bunch of games today where like we saw a bunch of like other Tailwind teams. When we set Tailwind and we enable Ursaluna, and our opponent sets Tailwind and they enable an Urshifu, we still lose, right? We need more speed control, which we can't realistically get. So I think instead of like playing to make this Ursaluna work inside of a Tailwind setting, which like it can, you know, 112 is the exact number that it would need to be to work in those situations, I would say. You're much better off just like building it for Trick Room. And I understand that like it's cool to make it work in a Tailwind setting, but like it's not, it's actually like making this team lose win opportunities. And I think you'd be better off just going with like a heavier, like bulkier. This is my Ursaluna spread that I go in these sort of situations. I would still go speed reduced, just because Slow sub is still a good sub. And then from there, you know, I fill up a little bit more like Spadef side, so I put about like 52 in here. This is just a set that I use. I'm trying to remember it off the top of my head. Yeah, I had nothing in there. It was like that. Yeah, it was just 252 like that. And then, what was it? Actually, I have an Ursaluna spread. I'm just going to go find it. I'm going to go find it. You guys are going to see one of my cool teams. But I did a bunch of calcs for it. I'm trying to remember exactly where those were. It's here. Yeah, this was the Ursaluna set that I used. So this is the Ursaluna set that I use for my Palance team when I want to play Ursaluna in the same type of way with Cress. And basically, this set just lets you hit as hard as possible. This lets you hit as hard as possible. This box like Shadow Balls from Flutters. And I would still go the Ghost Tera here. It's not Shadow Balls. The box Moonblast from like Specs Flutters. You're going to be able to live that every time. And then you have just a little bit of speed against other Ursalunas. That's what it was. Yeah, I was like, why are we wasting these points here? But this is the set that I use. If you don't like it, feel free to go back to what your set was. I just don't feel like you need to have that much speed. And then for Typhlosion, I feel like we talked about this already. You shouldn't be trying to mitigate damage with the Typhlosion. You should just take your L's when you take them and just go fire. Like, you need the fire to actually pick up KOs on, like, genies. Things like Landorus's, things like, you know, other bulky Tornaduses. You can't KO them with just the Life Orb, especially if taking any other damage. So I would say just double dip that fire and go to town. Other than that, set's fine. You know, you need to be full speed to actually make these things work correctly. It works. As for the Torkoal, Torkoal can definitely grass. If you did want a defensive Tera on this Typhlosion, grass is better than water, right? Because what's water block? Water blocks water, right? But grass blocks water and ground. So if you did want a defensive Tera type on Typhlosion, you would go grass. Just throwing that out there. As for Torkoal, Torkoal's fine. I would actually go Ghost here. Because the most common way to stop this sort of play is when they lead like a fake out user and they're like, that's going to eject. And sometimes you need to do the damage, and you still need, like, you need to soak the fake out, deal the damage, and repivot. So there are some times where you need this to go off, and that's where Ghost comes into play. I would also realistically change this Helping Hand to Yawn. I think Yawn makes Torkoal just a little bit better than having Helping Hand. That's just my personal situation. I know that a lot of people like Helping Hand. There are situations where you could lead Torkoal with Typhlosion and go Helping Hand Eruption, get a double KO. And in those sort of situations, you'd probably just be better off leading, like, if you're fast enough to outspeed both their mons and KO both their mons with a Typhlosion, you could just be leading like a Lilligant or leading like a Torn and just going like Bleakwind Eruption. And that would still probably do enough. And, you know, that breaks Sash. It's better. It's just better. So I would say that, like, and Yawn on Torkoal is like super cracked. So you can weave and protect with all these other guys. Yawn's something that's a threat. Next turn, do your thing with your Torkoal. They have to switch, and then you already know more about their team, and you get a basically free swap into your something like your Luna. As for the Cress, I think the trick was really cool. We used it to side trick one of our Mons. It's fun, but I don't think it's the way that you should be playing this team. And if it is the way you should be playing this team, like if you still want to keep this, this is a cool moveset, you need to at least spread your EVs out to like optimize them. I think you need to hit this number actually for Cresselia to actually be a bully on these things. But yeah, one of my favorite things to do if you go like Torkoal Cress is to go like Trick Room here. Hopefully don't die, right? Go for the eject button, eject pack overheat right into your Ursaluna, and now you have Ursaluna Cress, and you just win the game, right? Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. It sucks that this Cresselia is choice scarfed and you have to do all these things. So like if this was me, I would take the choice scarf off. You know, we probably just should. The safest way to do this is a mental herb, and that would look something more like this. You would want to keep an odd number here so they don't think that you're citrus, right? If they hit you with like Ruination, you don't show that you're not citrus, so if they do any other damage, you know, they have to do that. You could throw like 12 in here. Icy Wind's still good. Lunar Blessing's good. You would cut this for like a Moonblast, and then you only really need 12 points off a Fairy Tera. If you wanted to have the Fairy Tera, which I would go Fairy here, to be able to KO like Urshidarks and Shempows. And then from there, you want to pick, do I want to be more physically defensive or special defensive? And I would say this team is more weak to the special side, things like Chi-Yus and Flutters. So you probably want to put a bulk of your points in that. And then from there, you know, take all this speed out. You actually only need about 12 speed to actually still work in a Tailwind. And then from there, you can just throw that in here. So this is a more bulky Cresselia. If you want to keep your Cresselia exactly the way you had it, go nuts. Like, we showed that you still can use it. But now we actually have a Trick Room variant. And that's the thing. When you're setting up all these lead combos, a lot of the things that, like, you set up, still work. You can still go protect Typhlosion, Icy Wind. You can still go all the other things you were doing. But now you actually just can play Trick Room and win with Trick Room. So when they have like a Chi-Yu Flutter, like crazy, like a Shenpao Dragonite or something, like you can just go like, cool, Torkoal, Cress, they're going to have to Rain Dance or do something else. They can't do that and do all the other things to stop our Cress. Cress is going to get a Trick Room, Ursaluna is going to come in, and then we just win the game. And Cress is going to be so much more valuable supporting the Ursaluna if it's not choice locked into something like Trick Room. We don't have to swap back out to the Torkoal or anything. As for the Lilligant, I think Ghost does work here, but we showed the situation where I would realistically rather use Dark. I like Dark because it does stop those Prankster taunts, but also it stops just Gothitels, Cresselias from just throwing in a Psychic into you. And I do think that it's just pretty decent to have Dark Tera. You could still keep Ghost, though. I think because we don't have access to a Covert Cloak or anything like that, it's good. Ghost definitely works. And those late game situations, it's like Dragonites with E-Speeds, Ghost is great. So I think this is a pretty cool team. We're going to play a couple games with it and hopefully get some wins. So let's go do that right now. All right, going up against this. So they have Tailwind Speed Control. They have Regidragos. This is a game where I'm going to try and Trick Room. And I wonder if they're going to lead Entity. And if they do lead Entity and try and get cute, we're going to punish them for it. So let's see. We can go Torkoal, we can go Cress, we can go Luna, and then we need to pick the exact right Mon to be able to win in the back. Lilligant cannot hit Basculegion. Typhlosion gets undersped by like all of these things. So it might be Typhlosion. I don't hate Tornadus here, actually. I don't think we need Tornadus. I think it's Typhlosion. Yeah. Let's go. Alright, so Torkoal Cress. There's the Flutter and the Torn. So I don't think they can break our Cress in one hit, especially as a Mental Orb. They'd have to double taunt us. So we can just throw up an Overheat into any one of those that we really want. Who would be a bigger threat? I want to get the Tornadus off the board. And just throw up a Trick Room. I don't know if we one-shot Tornadus. I don't think that we do, especially because we don't have that much investment. But Tornadus could also be Sash, so we want to get some damage in on that guy first. So let's see. I wonder if they're going to go like Taunt Shadow Ball. Don't really care. We can't break the Flutter in one hit, but then next turn we're going to bring in the Ursaluna, and Ursaluna can keep the Flutter slot locked up. They don't have any Intimidators other than Arcanine they can switch in, and Arcanine does not want to switch in on Earthquake, which is what we would be using next turn. So we're in a great spot here. D-Gloom's fine. Don't really care. They're not taunting. They're Bleakwinding. You see how that just doesn't break this Crest at all? We get the damage. We clock the Sash. We talked about seeing that Sash. I was pretty sure it was Sash based off the team preview. Now we bring out the Ursaluna here. Absolutely massive damage. There's the Trick Room. So, and we get the burn active immediately. That's what I love about this sort of tech. It's an automatic win condition. So we're just going to throw up an Earthquake that should be able to KO the Flutter. And Icy Wind. I still like the Icy Wind even on Trick Room teams, but this is just to break the Torn. And remember, we have Levitate on Crest. So we should be in a great spot here. Protect's completely fine. Earthquake. Hopefully we KO the Flutter. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. So you see, like, adding this Trick Room core makes it so, like, super crazy one-dimensional hyper-aggressive teams like that, they have to take the L. And if our opponent was using Entity with, like, Imprison, we still have the Typhlosion. Like, we could have went for that same sort of play where maybe we don't try and Trick Room, but maybe we just go, like, an Icy Wind into, like, the Overheat. And if they have, like, I don't know, something like Flutter and Entity, they would have went for the Imprison, we would have brought the Typhlosion and Protect, Icy Wind again, and then outsped both and went for Eruption and been fine. There's the Arcanine that we talked about seeing. That's most likely going to be a Grass Tera Arcanine, I would say. So this is where I'm going to sub, and I'm just going to Moonblast this Tornadus. And the reason why I still Icy Wind there is because I didn't know if we needed the extra damage on the Flutter. I don't want to drop this Arcanine speed, though, if I can help it. I think that they're probably going to Grass Tera or Water. Cool. They get a double Protect. Never lucky. But there's a sub up. Subs up. Fire Blitz blocked. So we could have protected there, but like imagine if like they didn't attack that slot. That would have been super free. So now we can just attack that slot. We just go big Facades. They're dead. Probably. Moonblast. We need to get that thing off the board sooner than later. Actually, I'm going to Icy Wind. So Facade, because like Trick Room's about to end, and we want to be able to put some speed control on like maybe something like a Regidrago that swaps in on this, or like a Basculegion. We could even go for a Lunar Blessing to get some health back, but I think the Icy Wind's fine. They go for a triple Protect, not today. Remember, there was an Intimidate up, so that's why they lived. We missed! That sucks. Speed Drop, Flare Blitz, they're going to take some big recoil. They're donezoed, right? So there's one turn left on Trick Room. Protect will be back up. you save the Torkoal here. Because Basket Legion's coming. Yep, there's a Basket Legion. So we're just going to throw... so we see Life Orb. So we're just going to throw up... I mean, I could realistically probably just Eruption here. We'll Shadow Ball, though. I don't see an issue with Shadow Ball plus Icy Wind here. Trying to think of, like, situations. They're obviously going to protect there. Double Protect's completely fine. All right, so in this exact situation, they have the Last Respects. Who are they throwing it into? If we protect here, and the Last Respects are Cress, that sucks. If they go after that guy, and we get a Trick Room up, we enable Torkoal, which is good. So that means the right play would be something like Terrastalize, Eruption, and Trick Room. Bleakwind's fine. Yep. So we KO that Torn. Dunzoed it. Last Respects Cress. And now, you know, we already outsped their Basket Legion, right? So we got it. They could have Aqua Jet. I don't know if that KOs. I do not know if that KOs from here. This is where Yawn is pretty cracked amundoed. So we just go Yawn here. Show the Aqua Jet. Oh, Last Respects. Fine. If you Last Respects to Torkoal, we always outspeed that and KO that thing. So we're fine. You actually want to overheat because you don't want to get, well, you actually can just protect here. No, it's fine. We got it. Just got it. This is one of those adaptability Basket Legions, so we take those wins. Probably could have been just a little bit cleaner, but you saw, like, how we led correctly. And we actually went into, like, a full Trick Room mode. We punished our opponent. We got some unlucky misses with Icy Winds. We got double protected on, and we still won, right? That's the thing. We still won against one of these really hyper-aggressive teams. So we're going to go into one more game and see if we can fight maybe like an Urshi board or like something else. But yeah, I think that like the changes that we're making are definitely helping. Okay, I said we're going to play against something standard. This is just the next game. This is not standard, and I'm going to play against it and show how you can just be a bully, right? I think that like Typhlosion here is super cracked. I think like Typhlosion Torn is just cracked. You can even think about leading Torkoal here. But I think that like realistically, we can just go taunt anything that would need to be taunted. We can go for a Sunny Day and just Erupt, or we can go for basically anything we want. I think these two, plus like, I would still bring Torkoal, and I would bring Lilligant here. I think Lilligant's really, really good. I think if they ever set up anything, this is always like a minimize whatever crazy play, and I want to see if we can force that Muck into like minimize or terastallizing into something else. Komala is a bit weird, but like, I always think it's fun to play against these sort of teams. I mean, their ranking's okay too, so let's see how this one goes. So big Typhlosion, and we get the Frisk off right at the bat. I want to see if it's a, let's see, Focus Sash Flutter, Black Sludge, the Degeneracy, Focus Sash Flutter main, dude. We're gonna go protect, Taunt, and then next turn we're gonna swap. So Taunt's up, no minimize. Yep, just not even happening, not today. Not in my house. You can go for a Shadow Ball into this slot right here. How much do I care? I don't. We don't even need to Tailwind right now. Photosynthesis active, speed boost, absolutely fine. Yep. Nice. Speed drop. Fire punch. Ow. Okay. So in this exact situation, we can do basically whatever we want. I'm going to overheat there and throw up a fadeaway Tailwind, which makes Typhlosion just come in and win the game. If you KO something, it doesn't matter. Yep. Oh, we don't lose any Mons. That's sick. And we get the good damage. And Muck can't protect. Typhlosion comes out here. Actually, I don't want to get copyright striked. We don't need to terastalize right now. But you see how, like, we're in a great spot. We have basically everything that we could ever want. And we don't need to go, like, we don't need a Fire Tera. Even if they want, like, Water Tera here, they'd still probably lose it as long as we hit the Bleakwind. So, we're in a great spot. This guy's like, I can't believe I got taunted. And it's so much easier and freer to taunt in those situations. It's a good protect. When you know that your opponent, like, doesn't have a mental orb because of the Frisk. Right, so Muck goes down. Some health down. And we still have Torkoal in the back to, like, pivot / reset Sun if we need it. There's the Clef Key. So they can Light Screen, they can Thunder Wave. But all those things don't work if this turn we definitely click the button. Eruption, because we want to KO them if they Water Tera. And then we just taunt the Clef Key. Because we're a faster base speed than the Clef Key is, so our taunt's faster. Got Mental Herb, buddy? No Mental Herb, no Light Screen. Not a zilch zitch. And we take those wins. So you see like those situations where like, I feel like with the team, what we did in this little fixing is we really streamlined it and made it get to the point a lot faster. We cut a lot of the fluff off and we optimized things. Like the Tornadus, I would say the biggest thing I would change on the Tornadus that I did change is like a playstyle difference. Like bring the Tornadus and like be that bully. With the Ursaluna, we actually work more in TR now. With the Typhlosion, we cut the fat off the Tera, made ourselves just a more streamlined version with fire. Torkoal, just made ourselves a little bit better. We used the Yawn in that one of the games, so that definitely worked. Cresselia definitely works a lot better now. So much easier to like weave this guy in and actually have an impact in the game. And the Lilligant was great the whole time. So thank you so much for submitting this team. I appreciate everyone that actually checks out the Patreon. If you guys want to submit a team to the Patreon, this team post is still up. You can still check out the teams. Appreciate Sega actually dropping all this info on us. And I do really like Sunrim teams. They're probably my favorite team for Regulation D. So thank you so much for submitting such a cool team that uses so many amazing mods. I should have my Typhlosion plush up here. I usually have it over there. But yeah, I do like this team. I do like the Pokemon. And if you're struggling with this team, I would say like realistically, it's probably about a 70% win rate team just in general. And on good days, you can go to the 80, 90s. On bad days, you dip down to those 60s. But it still should be like a pretty decent team against most matchups if played patiently and correctly enough. And yeah, just thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for supporting the content. I'm looking forward to the DLC. Don't forget to answer the question of the day. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.